Throughout history, the line between myth and reality has often blurred in the most fascinating ways. What if the legendary creatures that have captivated our imaginations for centuries were actually inspired by real animals roaming the earth? Ancient cultures, with their keen observations of the natural world, transformed what they saw into stories of dragons, griffins, and other fantastical beings. These tales weren't just flights of fancy, they were attempts to make sense of the world around them. For example, could the fearsome crocodile have sparked the legend of the dragon? Or might the mighty eagle have given rise to tales of the griffin? In this video, we'll uncover 30 mythological creatures and explore the real-life animals that may have inspired them. Along the way, you'll discover how these stories reveal the creativity and curiosity of humanity across time and cultures. So, let's step into the world where myth meets reality and see what surprising connections we can uncover. The griffin, with the body of a lion and the head of an eagle, stands as one of the most iconic mythological creatures in history. This majestic hybrid combines the raw power and regal presence of the lion, often dubbed the king of the beasts, with the soaring grace and sharp vision of the eagle, the undisputed ruler of the skies. It's easy to see why ancient cultures might have imagined such a creature. What better guardian could there be than one that embodies the strength of the earth and the freedom of the heavens? In many mythologies, griffins were revered as protectors of priceless treasures, from gold to sacred artifacts. Their dual nature made them symbols of both might and vigilance, qualities essential for safeguarding what was most valuable. Some scholars believe the griffin's origins could have been inspired by early encounters with fossils or distant sightings of real animals, like lions and eagles, that sparked the imagination of ancient storytellers. The idea of combining these two formidable creatures into one would have been a natural leap, creating a being that felt both awe-inspiring and untouchable. This blending of animal traits didn't stop with the griffin, though. Across cultures, similar hybrids emerged, each with its own unique story and purpose. From the Sphinx of ancient Egypt to the Chimera of Greek lore, the fusion of animal features became a powerful way to explore themes of strength, protection, and the unknown. The griffin, in particular, set the stage for many of these legends, showing how the physical attributes of real animals could be reimagined into something truly extraordinary. And as we'll see, this creative process didn't end with the griffin, and it paved the way for countless other mythical creatures that continue to captivate us today. Imagine encountering a creature with the body of a lion, the head of a goat sprouting from its back, and a serpent for a tail, a beast that breathes fire and embodies pure chaos. This is the Chimera, one of the most fearsome creatures in Greek mythology. Ancient storytellers painted it as a hybrid nightmare, a symbol of the uncontrollable forces of nature. But where did this terrifying idea come from? It's possible that the Greeks, surrounded by a rich variety of animals, drew inspiration from the diverse fauna around them. Lions, goats, and snakes were all familiar sights in their world, and combining these creatures into one monstrous form might have been a way to express their awe and fear of the natural world's unpredictability. The Chimera wasn't just a physical threat, it was a metaphor for disorder and destruction. In myths, it was often depicted as an almost unstoppable force, a reminder of how easily the balance of life could be shattered. This symbolism resonates even today, as the idea of a hybrid creature continues to captivate our imaginations. It's fascinating to think that such a legendary monster could have been born from observing the animals that roamed the Greek landscape. Could the Chimera have been an ancient way of explaining the chaos they saw in the world around them? This idea of blending animal traits doesn't stop with the Chimera. Many other mythical creatures, like the griffin or the Sphinx, combine parts of different animals to create something entirely new. These hybrids might have served a similar purpose, representing the unknown, the powerful, or the divine. As we explore more of these creatures, it's clear that the human imagination has always had a way of weaving the familiar into the extraordinary, transforming the animals of the natural world into the stuff of legend. The Kraken is one of the most terrifying maritime legends, a colossal sea monster said to rise from the depths to drag entire ships and their crews into the abyss. Stories of this giant creature have haunted sailors for centuries, leaving them wary of the vast and mysterious ocean. But what if there was a real-life animal behind this fearsome myth? Enter the giant squid, a creature that was rarely seen but left behind unmistakable evidence of its existence. Sailors would occasionally find massive tentacles washed ashore or encounter strange, enormous shapes lurking just beneath the waves. These encounters, paired with the fear of the unknown, could easily have sparked tales of a monstrous kraken. The ocean has always been a place of mystery and danger, especially in ancient times when its depths were uncharted and unpredictable. For sailors venturing into the unknown, the idea of a massive, tentacled beast lurking beneath the surface would have been a natural conclusion to their fears. The giant squid, with its immense size and eerie appearance, serves as a plausible source of this legend. Its deep-sea habitat and elusive nature only added to the mystery, making it the perfect candidate for a mythical monster. But the kraken isn't the only sea creature that might have inspired maritime legends. The ocean is teeming with life, much of it strange and unfamiliar, making it a fertile ground for myth-making. From serpent-like sea dragons to mermaids, the deep blue has long been a canvas for the human imagination. Could other real-life creatures be hiding behind these tales? As we dive deeper into the mysteries of the sea, we'll uncover more connections between myth and reality, showing just how intertwined they truly are. The phoenix, one of the most iconic creatures in mythology, has long been a symbol of rebirth and immortality. Picture a majestic bird with feathers ablaze in hues of red, gold, and orange, only to be consumed by fire and then rise again, renewed and radiant. This cycle of death and resurrection has captivated imaginations for centuries, making the phoenix a powerful emblem of hope and transformation. But could this mythical bird have been inspired by creatures from the natural world? Take the flamingo, for instance. With its vibrant pink feathers and its habitat in scorching, sun-drenched landscapes, the flamingo's appearance and environment evoke a fiery aesthetic that mirrors the phoenix's mythical origins. Both birds, in their own ways, symbolize resilience, the flamingo thriving in harsh conditions, and the phoenix embodying the ultimate comeback. The symbolism of the phoenix runs deep across cultures. In ancient Egypt, it was linked to the sun god Ra, representing the daily cycle of the sun rising and setting. In Greek and Roman traditions, the phoenix was seen as a sign of renewal, often tied to themes of eternal life and the cyclical nature of existence. Even today, the phoenix continues to inspire, appearing in literature, art, and popular culture as a reminder that from destruction comes new beginnings. It's fascinating to consider how real-world elements, like the flamingo's striking appearance and its ability to flourish in extreme environments, might have sparked the imagination of storytellers seeking to craft tales of endurance and renewal. And the phoenix is just the beginning. As we explore further, we'll uncover how other remarkable birds may have left their mark on myths and legends, shaping stories that continue to resonate with us today. Few creatures in mythology capture the imagination quite like the Minotaur, a being that blends human and animal in a way that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Picture a towering figure with the muscular body of a man and the powerful head of a bull, a creature that embodies raw strength and primal ferocity. This iconic hybrid, central to Greek mythology, was said to dwell in the labyrinth of Crete, a maze so complex that escape was nearly impossible. But what might have inspired such a creature? The answer likely lies in humanity's long-standing reverence for bulls. Bulls have been symbols of power, fertility, and fear across many ancient cultures. Their sheer physical strength and unpredictable nature made them both admired and feared. In Crete, bulls held a particularly sacred status, often featured in rituals and even the famous sport of bull leaping. It's not hard to see how the image of a bull could evolve into something as formidable as the Minotaur, a being that combined the might of a bull with the cunning and form of a human. In Greek mythology, the Minotaur wasn't just a monster, it was a symbol of dominance and fear. King Minos, who ruled Crete, used the labyrinth and its terrifying inhabitant to cement his own power, making the Minotaur a tool of both myth and political control. The story of Theseus slaying the Minotaur speaks to humanity's triumph over primal chaos, but it also reflects the complex relationship people had with the natural world, a mix of admiration and terror. The Minotaur is just one example of how human-animal hybrids were imagined across mythologies. These creatures often served as bridges between the familiar and the unknown, blending traits that represented the best and worst of both worlds. As we continue to explore these fascinating hybrids, it's clear that they were more than just stories. They were ways for ancient cultures to make sense of the world around them, merging the awe-inspiring power of animals with the complexity of human nature. The mermaid is one of the most iconic mythological creatures, blending the familiar with the mysterious. With the upper body of a human and the tail of a fish, it captures the imagination in a way few other creatures can. But where did this idea come from? Many historians believe that sailors spending months at sea may have encountered real animals like manatees or dugongs and mistook them for something otherworldly. These marine mammals, with their rounded bodies and flipper-like limbs, could easily resemble a human figure from a distance, especially in the shimmering, distorted light of the ocean. In folklore, the mermaid has a dual nature, both enchanting and perilous. Stories often depict them as beautiful, alluring beings who lure sailors with their songs, only to lead them to their doom. This duality reflects humanity's complex relationship with the sea, a place of wonder and abundance, but also danger and the unknown. These tales may have served as cautionary stories, warning against the temptations and risks of the ocean. Interestingly, the mermaid isn't the only aquatic creature to inspire such myths. Across cultures, there are numerous legends of human-like sea beings, suggesting that this fascination with the ocean's mysteries is universal. Could other marine animals like seals or dolphins have sparked similar stories? It's a question that invites us to look deeper into the ways our ancestors interpreted the natural world around them. From majestic horses to mythical legends, the unicorn stands as one of the most iconic creatures in mythology. Picture a horse, but with a single, spiraling horn on its forehead, a symbol of purity, grace, and untamed magic. But where did this enchanting image come from? Some historians believe the unicorn's design was inspired by real animals, particularly the narwhal, a whale with a long, spiral tusk that eerily resembles a unicorn's horn. Sailors in the Middle Ages often brought back narwhal tusks, claiming they were from unicorns, fueling the myth further. Beyond its physical form, the unicorn carries deep symbolic weight. In medieval times, it was seen as a creature of untouchable purity, often linked to innocence and healing. Its horn was even believed to purify water and neutralize poison, making it a symbol of protection and miraculous power. But the unicorn isn't the only horse-like creature that captures the imagination. As we move forward, we'll explore how other equine legends, like the Pegasus and the Centaur, might have roots in the natural world, blending reality and fantasy in ways that continue to fascinate us. Dragons are among the most iconic and enduring mythological creatures, captivating imaginations across cultures with their awe-inspiring presence. These fire-breathing, winged reptiles have long been symbols of power, mystery, and often chaos. But where did the idea of dragons originate? Many scholars believe that ancient encounters with real-life reptiles like crocodiles, Komodo dragons, and even the fossils of dinosaurs may have planted the seeds for these legendary beasts. Think about it. What if the discovery of massive dinosaur bones with their sharp teeth and imposing skeletons led people to believe in creatures of unimaginable strength and size? And then there's the Komodo dragon, a living reptile that can grow up to 10 feet long, with a bite so potent it can bring down prey far larger than itself. Combine that with the crocodile's armored body and stealthy hunting tactics, and it's easy to see how these real animals could have inspired tales of dragons. Across the globe, dragons take on different forms and meanings. In European myths, they're often depicted as fearsome adversaries, hoarding treasure and battling knights. In Asian traditions, dragons are revered as benevolent beings, symbols of wisdom, strength, and good fortune. This duality shows just how deeply these reptilian marvels have woven themselves into the fabric of human storytelling. Whether as villains or protectors, dragons embody our fascination with the untamed and the extraordinary. And while dragons themselves may be mythical, their roots in the natural world remind us that even the most fantastical stories often have a grain of truth. So, as we explore other reptilian creatures in mythology, keep in mind how these ancient connections continue to shape the legends we tell today. The Sphinx stands as one of the most iconic mythological creatures, blending the physical power of a lion with the intellect of a human. This fusion of human and animal traits creates a figure that is both awe-inspiring and enigmatic. In Egyptian mythology, the Sphinx often appears as a guardian, watching over temples and tombs with its regal, lion-like body and human face, symbolizing the harmony between strength and wisdom. The Great Sphinx of Giza, with its massive stone form, has become a lasting testament to this idea, embodying the role of a protector and a symbol of divine authority. In Greek mythology, the Sphinx takes on a more cunning and mysterious role. Perched outside the city of Thebes, it challenges travelers with a riddle, devouring those who fail to answer correctly. The riddle of the Sphinx, famously solved by Oedipus, highlights the creature's association with intelligence and the human capacity for problem-solving. This dual nature, both protector and trickster, shows how the Sphinx represents the balance of raw physical power and the sharpness of the mind. The combination of a lion's body and a human head may have been inspired by the natural world, where lions are apex predators embodying strength, while humans are seen as the pinnacle of reasoning and creativity. This hybrid form could reflect ancient cultures' admiration for these traits, combining them into a single, formidable entity. The Sphinx's enduring presence in both Egyptian and Greek myths suggests a universal fascination with creatures that embody both physical and intellectual mastery. Guardian figures like the Sphinx remind us that mythology often draws from the natural world, blending animal attributes with human qualities to create beings that inspire both fear and admiration. As we explore other creatures born from this imaginative process, we'll see how these hybrids continue to captivate our imaginations and reveal deeper truths about the societies that created them. Imagine witnessing a being that embodies the grace of a stallion and the intellect of a human. This is the Centaur, a mythical creature that has fascinated storytellers for centuries. With the upper body of a warrior or sage and the lower body of a powerful horse, the Centaur represents a unique fusion of strength and wisdom. But where did this idea come from, and why has it endured in myth for so long? One compelling theory points to the profound bond between humans and horses. Throughout history, horses have been companions, workers, and even partners in battle. Their speed, endurance, and loyalty made them indispensable to early civilizations. It's not hard to see how storytellers might have envisioned a creature that combined human intelligence with the raw power and freedom of a horse. The Centaur, in many ways, symbolizes this deep connection, a bridge between the rational mind and the untamed spirit of nature. Yet, centaurs are often portrayed as complex beings, embodying both nobility and chaos. In Greek mythology, they are sometimes depicted as wise teachers such as Chiron, the mentor of heroes like Achilles and Hercules. On the other hand, they can also represent wild, untamed forces, as seen in stories of their unruly behavior during festivals like the Centauramachy. This duality reflects the tension between civilization and the natural world, a theme that resonates across cultures and time. What's fascinating is how the centaur's dual nature invites us to explore the boundaries between human and animal traits. Could other hybrid creatures in mythology have emerged from similar observations of the natural world? As we unravel these stories, we begin to see how ancient cultures used imagination to make sense of their surroundings, blending reality with myth to create lasting symbols. The centaur is just one example of how the line between the familiar and the fantastical can blur, sparking endless curiosity and wonder. One of the most fascinating creatures in mythology is the Hydra, a serpent-like beast with multiple heads that posed a nearly insurmountable challenge to anyone who dared to face it. According to legend, whenever one of its heads was cut off, two more would grow in its place, making it seem invincible. This idea of endless regeneration has captivated storytellers for centuries, but could it have been inspired by real animals? Take the octopus, for example, known for its ability to regrow lost limbs with remarkable efficiency. This kind of natural regeneration might have sparked the idea of a creature that could continually renew itself, leading to the myth of the Hydra. In Greek mythology, the Hydra was a fearsome guardian, often depicted as a nearly unbeatable foe that required cunning and strategy to defeat. This blend of real-world biology and imaginative storytelling shows how ancient cultures might have used their observations of nature to craft tales of extraordinary creatures. And the Hydra is just one example. There are other animals in nature with regenerative abilities that could have similarly inspired myths of resilience and renewal. The Pegasus, with its majestic wings and equine grace, stands as one of the most iconic creatures in mythology. A horse that soars through the skies, it's an image that captures the imagination and stirs a sense of wonder. But have you ever stopped to think about where the idea of a winged horse might have come from? While horses are earthbound, the concept of flight likely drew inspiration from the natural world, particularly from birds. Birds, with their effortless ability to glide through the air, have long symbolized freedom and transcendence. It's easy to see how ancient storytellers, observing the elegance of birds in flight, might have envisioned combining that with the strength and beauty of a horse to create the Pegasus. What makes the Pegasus so fascinating is its dual symbolism. On one hand, it represents the human desire to break free from earthly limitations to rise above and explore the heavens. On the other, it carries a divine connection. In Greek mythology, Pegasus was born from the blood of Medusa and later became the trusted steed of Zeus, the king of the gods. This blend of freedom and divine favor makes the Pegasus a powerful emblem in stories and art. But the Pegasus isn't just a product of ancient imagination. It also reflects our ongoing fascination with flight. Long before humans invented airplanes, myths like this one allowed people to dream of soaring through the skies. In a way, the Pegasus is a testament to humanity's enduring curiosity and ambition, our drive to achieve what seems impossible. And while the Pegasus stands out as a unique hybrid, it's worth considering how other creatures of the air might have shaped similar myths. From the fire-breathing dragons of the East to the thunderbirds of Native American lore, flying creatures have always held a special place in our collective storytelling. Each one, like the Pegasus, carries its own symbolism and serves as a bridge between the earthly and the celestial. moving from the realm of serpentine legends, we now encounter one of the most iconic figures in mythology, the Cyclops. This towering, one-eyed giant has captured imaginations for centuries, often depicted as both a fearsome creature and a formidable challenge for heroes. But could the Cyclops have been inspired by something in the natural world? Interestingly, some researchers point to elephants as a potential source of this myth. When ancient cultures stumbled upon elephant skulls, they might have been puzzled by the large central cavity in the forehead, mistaking it for a single eye socket. This misinterpretation could have sparked tales of a giant with one all-seeing eye. In mythology, the Cyclops often appears as a solitary, monstrous figure, from the one-eyed Polyphemus in Homer's Odyssey to the skilled blacksmiths of Greek lore who crafted Zeus's thunderbolts. These stories portray them as both terrifying and awe-inspiring, embodying the dangers of the unknown. Yet, the idea of a Cyclops might also reflect humanity's fascination with giant beings that loom large in myths across cultures. As we explore the Cyclops, it's worth considering how other gigantic creatures could have been born from similar encounters with the natural world, blending observation with imagination to create enduring legends. Moving from the fierce and fantastical, we now encounter the Basilisk, a creature so terrifying it was known as the King of Serpents. This legendary beast was said to possess the power to kill with nothing but its gaze, a concept that has both fascinated and horrified storytellers for centuries. But where did this idea originate? One possible inspiration lies in the real-world behavior of cobras, which can appear to hypnotize their prey with their steady, unblinking stare. Cobras also have the ability to spit venom, adding another layer of danger that might have influenced the myth of the basilisk's deadly gaze. In folklore, the basilisk became a symbol of absolute power and destruction. Its very presence was believed to wither plants and poison water, making it a creature of devastation. This portrayal might have been a way for ancient cultures to personify the dangers of the natural world, especially venomous snakes that posed a real threat to daily life. The basilisk's reputation as a nearly invincible predator also reflects humanity's deep-seated fear of the unknown and the uncontrollable. Interestingly, the basilisk's legend isn't isolated. Many serpentine creatures across mythologies share similar traits. From the Hydra of Greek mythology to the Naga of Hindu and Buddhist traditions, these creatures often embody themes of fear, power, and mystery. They serve as reminders of how ancient people interpreted the natural world around them, transforming real animals into larger-than-life symbols. So, as we reflect on the basilisk, it's worth considering how other serpents of legend might have been shaped by the awe and dread inspired by their real-life counterparts. The werewolf stands as one of the most iconic mythological creatures, a being that blurs the line between human and beast. This hybrid figure, capable of shifting from man to wolf under the light of the full moon, has fascinated cultures for centuries. But what might have inspired such a chilling tale? Wolves, as apex predators, were both feared and respected by early human societies. Their intelligence, pack mentality, and raw power made them a symbol of nature's untamed ferocity. It's easy to see how these traits could have been exaggerated into the myth of humans inheriting their form and instincts. The werewolf also represents something deeply primal within us, the struggle between civilization and our wilder, more instinctual selves. In legends, the transformation often comes with a loss of control, a surrender to base desires and unchecked aggression. This duality speaks to our own fears about what it means to let go of our humanity, even temporarily. Stories of werewolves might have served as cautionary tales, warning against the dangers of unchecked power or the consequences of embracing our darker impulses. What's fascinating is how this myth isn't just about fear, it's also about transformation. the idea of shedding one's human form to become something entirely different taps into our curiosity about change and the unknown. It's a theme that resonates across cultures, and it's no surprise that wolves, with their almost mythical status in the wild, became the perfect symbol for this metamorphosis. This concept of transformation isn't unique to werewolves, though. Throughout mythology, countless creatures embody the idea of shifting forms, from the graceful swan maidens of European folklore to the fearsome jaguars of Mesoamerican legend. Each of these stories reflects a deep fascination with the boundaries between human and animal and the power or peril that comes with crossing them. The Harpy is one of those mythical creatures that feels both awe-inspiring and deeply unsettling. Picture this: the body of a powerful bird of prey with broad wings and sharp talons combined with the haunting face of a human. It's a blend of beauty and menace, a creature that seems to embody the raw, untamed forces of nature. In mythology, harpies were often seen as agents of divine punishment, swooping down from the skies to carry out the will of the gods. They were also associated with storms, their cries echoing like the howling wind, a harbinger of chaos and destruction. It's not hard to see how real birds of prey might have inspired the harpy. Eagles, hawks, and vultures are majestic in their own right, but they also carry an air of danger. Their sharp eyes, powerful wings, and predatory instincts make them both admired and feared, qualities that align perfectly with the harpy's mythological role. These birds dominate the skies with an almost supernatural grace, their presence commanding attention and respect. It's easy to imagine ancient storytellers watching these creatures and weaving them into tales of divine retribution. The harpy's dual nature, part human, part bird, also speaks to deeper themes in mythology. It represents the merging of the natural and the supernatural, the familiar and the otherworldly. This blending of forms might have been a way to explore the boundaries between humanity and the animal kingdom, or even to personify the unpredictable power of nature itself. And the harpy is just one example of bird-human hybrids in mythology. From the wise and mystical Sphinx to the alluring sirens, these creatures often serve as symbols of transformation, power, or warning. Each one carries its own unique story, but they all share that captivating blend of traits, half human, half bird, that continues to fascinate us to this day. The Himalayas, with their towering peaks and icy landscapes, are home to one of the most legendary creatures in mythology, the Yeti. Often referred to as the abominable snowman, this giant, ape-like figure has captured imaginations for centuries. Descriptions of the Yeti vary, but most accounts depict it as a massive, bipedal creature covered in thick, shaggy fur, perfectly adapted to its frosty environment. But could this mythical being have roots in the real world? When we look at the wildlife of the Himalayas, certain animals stand out as potential inspirations for the Yeti. Take the Himalayan brown bear, for instance. These large, powerful creatures often walk on their hind legs, which could easily be mistaken for a towering, humanoid figure in the snow. Similarly, the langur monkey, with its long limbs and thick fur, might have contributed to the Yeti legend. Imagine a hiker catching a fleeting glimpse of a langur moving through the mist. It's not hard to see how such a sighting could spiral into a tale of a mysterious, snow-dwelling giant. In folklore, the Yeti has become a symbol of the unknown, a creature that embodies the wild and untamed nature of its mountainous home. Stories of the Yeti often emphasize its elusiveness, with sightings rare and encounters fleeting. This mystique has made it a central figure in local legends, from cautionary tales told by Sherpas to modern expeditions aimed at uncovering its secrets. The Yeti isn't the only creature to emerge from the world's high-altitude regions. In fact, many mountainous areas around the globe have their own versions of elusive, mysterious beings. From the Bigfoot of North America to the Olmas of Central Asia, these legends often share a common thread. a connection to the rugged, isolated environments they call home. Could these myths all stem from encounters with real animals, misinterpreted through the lens of human imagination? As we explore these connections, it's clear that the Yeti is more than just a myth. It's a reflection of our fascination with the unknown and the awe-inspiring power of nature. Whether it's a bear, a monkey, or something entirely different, the story of the Yeti reminds us that even in our modern world, there's still room for mystery. And as we venture further into the world's remote corners, who knows what other legends might be waiting to be discovered? Imagine a creature so enormous and powerful that it could swallow entire ships whole, its massive body churning the ocean into a raging tempest. This is the Leviathan, a sea monster of biblical proportions that has terrified and fascinated humanity for centuries. Described in ancient texts as a beast with impenetrable scales and breath that could set the seas ablaze, the Leviathan symbolizes raw, untamed nature and the chaos lurking beneath the waves. But could this legendary creature have been inspired by real animals that roam our oceans? Some scholars suggest that the Leviathan might owe its origins to sightings of whales, whose sheer size and mysterious movements could easily be exaggerated into tales of a monstrous predator. Others point to giant sea snakes or even prehistoric marine reptiles like mosasaurs, whose fossils might have sparked the imaginations of ancient storytellers. The Leviathan's role in mythology goes beyond mere physical description. It represents humanity's fear of the unknown, the uncontrollable forces of nature that lie beyond our grasp. As we dive deeper into the world of oceanic myths, let's consider how other sea creatures might have shaped the legends that still captivate us today. Moving from creatures of the sky and sea, we now turn to one of the most iconic and fearsome figures in mythology, the Gorgon. This serpent-haired woman with her petrifying gaze has captivated imaginations for centuries. But have you ever wondered if this legendary being could have been inspired by real animals? Let's take a closer look. The Gorgon's most striking feature is undoubtedly her hair, made entirely of writhing, venomous snakes. This imagery immediately brings to mind the very real threat of venomous snakes found in many cultures across the globe. From the cobras of Asia to the vipers of the Mediterranean, these creatures have long been feared and revered for their deadly power. It's not hard to see how the Gorgon's snake hair could symbolize the primal fear humans have of these predators. But the Gorgon isn't just about fear, she's also a symbol of transformation. In myths, her gaze turns onlookers to stone, a metaphor for the paralyzing effect of terror. Yet her story often carries deeper meaning, representing the power of the unknown and the ability to confront and overcome fear. This duality, both terrifying and transformative, makes the Gorgon a fascinating figure in mythology. When we consider the real-world counterparts to the Gorgon, it's clear how ancient storytellers might have drawn inspiration from nature. The way some snakes move silently, their unblinking eyes, and their ability to strike without warning all contribute to the Gorgon's eerie persona. It's almost as if the Gorgon embodies the ultimate predator, combining the most fearsome traits of these animals into one unforgettable creature. As we explore the connection between myths and the natural world, it's worth noting that the Gorgon isn't the only snake-related figure in mythology. Could other serpentine creatures like the Hydra or the Naga have emerged from similar observations of the animal kingdom? This question invites us to dive deeper into the ways ancient cultures interpreted the world around them, blending reality and imagination to create stories that endure to this day. Soaring through the skies of myth and legend, the Roc stands as one of the most awe-inspiring creatures ever imagined. This colossal bird of prey, said to be large enough to snatch elephants from the ground, has captured the human imagination for centuries. Stories of the Roc appear prominently in Middle Eastern and South Asian folklore, with tales of its incredible strength and size weaving their way into famous works like the 1001 Nights. But could such a creature have been inspired by something real? When you think of birds capable of carrying heavy prey, eagles come to mind. Modern eagles are impressive hunters, but their size pales in comparison to the roc of legend. However, history offers a fascinating clue: the Host's eagle, which once ruled the skies of New Zealand. This extinct bird of prey had a wingspan of nearly 10 feet and was powerful enough to hunt moa, flightless birds that weighed hundreds of pounds. While not quite elephant-sized, the Host's eagle's existence shows that nature has produced massive, formidable birds in the past. Could stories of the roc have been born from encounters with similar, now-vanished species? The roc's role in folklore often goes beyond its physical might. It's frequently depicted as a symbol of power, freedom, and the untamed forces of nature. In some tales, the roc serves as a guardian of treasure or a test of bravery for heroic adventurers. Its sheer size and dominance over the skies make it a natural embodiment of awe and respect in storytelling traditions. As we marvel at the roc, it's worth considering how other giant birds might have sparked similar myths. From the thunderbird of Native American legends to the griffin of ancient Eurasia, massive avian creatures appear in cultures across the globe. Could these stories all stem from humanity's fascination with the majesty of birds, or perhaps from distant memories of real, larger-than-life species that once shared the earth with us? One of the most fearsome creatures in Greek mythology is the Nemean Lion, a beast whose very name struck terror into the hearts of mortals. This legendary creature was said to have skin so tough that no weapon could pierce it, making it virtually invincible. Now compare that to real lions, which are already apex predators in their own right. With their powerful jaws, sharp claws, and unmatched hunting skills, lions dominate their ecosystems. But the Nemean lion took this to an entirely different level, becoming a symbol of ultimate strength and resilience in ancient tales. In myth, the Nemean lion was a monstrous challenge for the hero Heracles or Hercules as part of his famous 12 labors. The task of defeating this beast seemed impossible, as arrows and swords simply bounced off its impenetrable hide. Heracles eventually succeeded by using his wits, strangling the lion with his bare hands, a testament to both his strength and ingenuity. This story not only highlights the lion's invincibility, but also underscores the human fascination with overcoming insurmountable odds. Interestingly, tales of invincible creatures like the Nemean lion appear in myths across cultures. These stories might have been inspired by encounters with real animals whose natural defenses seemed extraordinary. Imagine ancient people witnessing a lion's dominance or a crocodile's armored skin. It's not hard to see how such awe-inspiring traits could evolve into legends of unkillable monsters. The Nemean lion, with its impenetrable hide, could very well be an exaggerated reflection of humanity's respect and fear of the natural world's most formidable predators. One of the most enchanting creatures in mythology is the Selkie, a being that effortlessly shifts between the form of a seal and a human. In the cold, wind-swept coasts of Scotland and Ireland, tales of these mystical creatures have been passed down for centuries. Selkies are said to shed their seal skins to walk on land as strikingly beautiful humans. But if their skins are stolen or hidden, they're trapped in human form until they can recover them. This duality, graceful seal by day, human by night, echoes the mysterious nature of real seals, whose sleek bodies and haunting eyes seem to hold secrets of the ocean. In folklore, the Selkie often symbolizes transformation and the tension between two worlds. They're portrayed as creatures of longing, caught between the freedom of the sea and the allure of the land. Many stories tell of fishermen who fall in love with Selkies, only to face heartbreak when the Selkie inevitably returns to the waves. This theme of duality resonates deeply, reminding us of the universal struggle between what we are and what we wish to become. The parallels between selkies and real seals are striking. Seals are known for their agility in water and their ability to navigate both land and sea with ease. Their mournful cries and solitary habits lend them an air of melancholy, something that likely inspired the emotional depth of Selkie tales. The idea of transformation, too, might stem from the way seals seem to move seamlessly between two elements, embodying a kind of magic that humans can only dream of. The Selkie story is just one example of how shape-shifting creatures have captured our imagination. From werewolves to kitsune foxes, myths of transformation are found in cultures around the world. Could these tales also have roots in observations of the natural world, much like the Selkie? The connection between myth and reality is a thread worth pulling, revealing how the mysteries of nature have shaped the stories we tell. One of the most infamous creatures in modern folklore, the Chupacabra, strikes a chord with its terrifying reputation as a blood-sucking predator. First reported in Puerto Rico during the 1990s, this cryptid is said to stalk rural areas, targeting livestock and leaving behind drained carcasses. Its name, which translates to goat sucker, reflects its alleged behavior and the fear it instills in communities. But could there be a real-world explanation behind this eerie legend? Some researchers suggest that the Chupacabra might be a distorted version of known animals such as coyotes or bats. Coyotes, for instance, are natural predators that attack livestock, and in certain cases, animals killed by them might appear bloodless due to scavengers or environmental factors. On the other hand, vampire bats, which do feed on blood, could have contributed to the mythos of a creature that drains its victims. Reports of hairless dogs or wild animals suffering from mange have also fueled sightings, as their unusual appearance often leads to misidentification. The Chupacabra's role in modern folklore goes beyond its physical description. It has become a symbol of fear and mystery, representing the unknown in an increasingly connected world. Stories of the creature have spread far and wide, adapting to local cultures and fears, making it a fascinating example of how folklore evolves over time. While the Chupacabra's existence remains unproven, the stories surrounding it continue to captivate and unsettle. As we explore the origins of such cryptids, it's intriguing to consider how fear and imagination shape our perceptions of the natural world. The Chupacabra's tale invites us to question where these legends begin and how they persist, blending fact and fiction in ways that resonate deeply with human curiosity. Picture a majestic creature soaring through the skies, its powerful eagle wings slicing through the air, yet its strong equine body galloping with grace across the earth. This is the Hippogriff, a legendary hybrid that blends the might of a bird of prey with the nobility of a horse. Born from the realms of mythology, this fascinating creature captures the imagination, combining two of nature's most iconic animals into a single, awe-inspiring form. The Hippogriff's eagle-like wings and sharp talons draw clear inspiration from raptors like eagles and hawks, known for their unparalleled ability to dominate the skies. Its muscular body and flowing mane, on the other hand, echo the elegance and strength of horses, creatures long revered for their loyalty and speed. Together, these traits create a hybrid that embodies both the freedom of flight and the grounded power of the earth. Symbolically, the Hippogriff represents a bridge between two worlds, the heavens and the earth. Its ability to soar high above the clouds while remaining connected to the land below makes it a potent emblem of freedom, ambition, and nobility. In many tales, it serves as a companion to heroes, a creature that demands respect and trust, much like the real animals that inspired it. The idea of such a hybrid isn't far-fetched when you consider the way humans have long observed and marveled at the natural world. Birds of prey and horses are both creatures that evoke a sense of awe and admiration, so it's no wonder they were fused into a single mythical being. And while the Hippogriff itself may be a product of imagination, It's a testament to the creativity that arises when we look to nature for inspiration. As we reflect on the hippogriff's origins, it's easy to see how other hybrid creatures could have been imagined in a similar way. By combining the traits of real animals, ancient storytellers created beings that not only entertained but also reflected the values and aspirations of their cultures. The hippogriff, with its wings spread wide and hooves firmly planted, reminds us of the limitless possibilities that emerge when we let our imaginations take flight. Deep in the waterways of Australia, a mysterious creature has haunted the imaginations of the Aboriginal people for centuries. Known as the Bunyip, this elusive being is said to inhabit swamps, billabongs, and rivers, its presence marked by eerie cries that echo through the night. Descriptions of the Bunyip vary widely, with some accounts depicting it as a large, seal-like creature, while others describe it as resembling a crocodile or even a monstrous hybrid of different animals. These differing portrayals hint at the possibility that the Bunyip myth could have been inspired by real animals native to Australia's diverse ecosystems. For the Aboriginal people, the Bunyip served as both a cautionary tale and a symbol of the unknown. Its stories were often used to teach children about the dangers of wandering too close to the water's edge, where the Bunyip was said to lie in wait. The creature's haunting cries were believed to be a warning, a reminder of the untamed power of nature and the mysteries that lay beneath the surface. This blend of fear and reverence for the Bunyip reflects a deep connection to the land and its creatures, highlighting the importance of storytelling in indigenous cultures. When we look at the Bunyip through the lens of real-world biology, it's fascinating to consider how animals like seals or crocodiles might have influenced its legend. Seals, with their sleek bodies and ability to move effortlessly through water, could have been the basis for the more aquatic descriptions of the Bunyip. Meanwhile, crocodiles, with their formidable size and predatory nature, align closely with the more fearsome depictions of the creature. It's possible that early encounters with these animals, combined with the natural fear of the unknown, gave rise to the Bunyip as a personification of the dangers lurking in the water. The Bunyip story is just one example of how water-dwelling creatures have inspired myths and legends across cultures. From the Loch Ness Monster to the Kappa of Japanese folklore, bodies of water have long been associated with mystery and the unknown. These tales often reflect the awe and apprehension humans feel toward the untamed natural world, serving as both warnings and reminders of the power that lies beneath the surface. The Fenghuang, often referred to as the Chinese phoenix, is a creature of breathtaking beauty and profound symbolism. Unlike the fiery rebirth of its Western counterpart, this mythological bird represents harmony, balance, and the union of yin and yang. Its feathers shimmer with the colors of the rainbow, combining grace and majesty in a way that has captured imaginations for centuries. But could such a creature have roots in the natural world? Many believe the Fenghuang's appearance draws inspiration from real birds, such as the peacock's iridescent tail or the crane's elegant stature. These animals embody qualities of beauty and poise, traits that align closely with the Fenghuang's depiction in Chinese mythology. In Chinese culture, the Fenghuang is more than just a mythical bird. It's a symbol of virtue, grace, and the ideal ruler. Legends often place it alongside the dragon, representing the perfect balance of power and benevolence. Its presence is said to bring peace and prosperity, making it a powerful emblem in art, literature, and even architecture. The Fenghuang story reflects the values of Chinese society, emphasizing harmony and moral integrity. It's fascinating to consider how this legendary creature might have been shaped by the observation of real birds, blending their physical traits with cultural ideals to create a timeless symbol. As we explore the Fenghuang's connection to the natural world, it's worth noting how other bird legends across cultures might share similar origins. From the thunderbird of Native American folklore to the Garuda of Hindu mythology, birds have long been revered as messengers, protectors, and symbols of the divine. Could these stories, like the Fenghuang, have been sparked by the beauty and mystery of real birds? The parallels are striking, inviting us to consider how nature has inspired some of humanity's most enduring myths. Moving forward, we'll uncover more of these fascinating connections, diving into the ways ancient cultures saw the animal world reflected in their legends. From the depths of Japanese rivers comes a creature as intriguing as it is unsettling, the Kappa. Often described as a humanoid figure with a turtle-like shell, webbed hands, and a beak-like mouth, the Kappa is a staple of Japanese folklore. But what's most fascinating about this water-dwelling trickster is the way its physical traits seem to echo real animals. Picture a turtle, for instance, with its shell and aquatic lifestyle, or an otter, known for its playful yet resourceful nature. It's easy to see how these creatures could have inspired tales of the Kappa, blending their traits with human imagination to create something entirely new. In Japanese legends, the Kappa is both mischievous and dangerous. Known for its love of pranks, it might pull unsuspecting swimmers underwater or steal crops from nearby fields. Yet the Kappa isn't purely malevolent, it's also bound by rules. One famous tale suggests that if you bow deeply to a Kappa, it will feel compelled to return the gesture, spilling the water held in the bowl-like cavity on its head. This act renders it powerless, offering a clever way to outwit the creature. Stories like this highlight the Kappa's dual nature, making it a complex figure in folklore rather than a simple villain. The Kappa's connection to water and its animalistic traits suggest that our ancestors may have looked to the natural world for inspiration. Perhaps the sight of a turtle diving beneath the surface or an otter darting through the currents sparked stories of a creature that was part animal, part human, and entirely captivating. And if the Kappa seems plausible, it's worth wondering what other river-dwelling creatures might have been imagined into existence by cultures around the world. Moving on to the skies of Hindu mythology, we encounter the Garuda, a colossal bird of immense power and significance. Known as the mount and loyal companion of the god Vishnu, the Garuda is often depicted as a mighty, eagle-like creature with golden feathers, a sharp beak, and wings that seem to stretch endlessly. This magnificent being isn't just a mythical construct, it's deeply rooted in the natural world, bearing striking similarities to real birds of prey like eagles and vultures. With their immense strength, keen eyesight, and dominance in the skies, it's easy to see how these majestic birds could have inspired the legend of the Garuda. But the Garuda isn't just a symbol of physical might, it represents profound spiritual and moral ideals. In Hindu tradition, the Garuda is seen as the embodiment of loyalty, speed, and unwavering devotion to duty. Its role as Vishnu's mount underscores its importance as a protector and messenger, bridging the divine and mortal realms. This blend of power and service makes the Garuda a fascinating figure, one that continues to resonate in art, literature, and cultural practices across South Asia. What's equally intriguing is how the Garuda's story reflects humanity's long-standing fascination with birds of prey. These creatures, with their ability to soar above the earth and strike with precision, have often been seen as symbols of freedom, authority, and transcendence. It's no wonder they've been woven into myths and legends across cultures. As we explore other divine creatures, we'll see how this connection between the natural and the mythical continues to shape our understanding of the world around us. With wings that could span the sky and the power to summon storms and lightning, the thunderbird stands as one of the most awe-inspiring figures in Native American folklore. Imagine a creature so immense that its flapping wings could create thunder, and its piercing eyes could summon bolts of lightning. This legendary bird is not just a myth, it's a symbol of the raw, untamed forces of nature. When we look at real-world birds like eagles or condors, it's easy to see how the thunderbird might have been inspired. Eagles, with their massive wingspans and commanding presence, embody strength and dominance in the animal kingdom. Condors, soaring effortlessly at incredible heights, seem almost otherworldly in their grace and power. It's not hard to imagine early storytellers observing these majestic birds and envisioning something even greater, a being capable of controlling the elements themselves. In Native American traditions, the thunderbird is often seen as a protector and a bringer of balance. It represents the duality of creation and destruction, as storms can both nourish the land and wreak havoc. This duality made the thunderbird a revered figure, a reminder of nature's immense power and the need to respect it. Stories of the thunderbird vary across tribes, but one thing remains consistent. It's a creature that commands respect and awe. As we think about the thunderbird's role in these tales, it's fascinating to consider how other weather-related creatures might have emerged from human imagination. Could the legends of dragons or sea serpents have been influenced by the unpredictable forces of wind and water? The thunderbird reminds us that myth and nature are deeply intertwined, offering a glimpse into how our ancestors made sense of the world around them. Ever wondered what a creature would look like if it combined the grace of a deer, the majesty of a dragon, and the strength of an ox? Meet the Qilin, a mythical being from Chinese folklore that embodies all these traits in one enchanting form. With a body of a deer, scales reminiscent of a dragon, and a tail like that of an ox, the Qilin is often described as a dragon-horse hybrid, an animal both powerful and serene. Its appearance alone is enough to captivate the imagination, but its role in mythology goes far beyond its striking looks. The Qilin is deeply rooted in Chinese tradition as a symbol of good fortune, prosperity, and peace. It's said to appear only during the reign of a wise and benevolent ruler or before the birth or death of a great sage. Unlike many other mythical creatures associated with chaos or destruction, the Qilin is known for its gentle nature, avoiding harm to even the smallest blade of grass as it walks. This harmony with the natural world has made it a beloved figure in stories and art for centuries. So, where might the inspiration for such a creature have come from? While the Qilin is undoubtedly fantastical, its features seem to draw from real animals. The deer-like body suggests a connection to graceful, herbivorous creatures like antelopes or gazelles, while the dragon scales and oxtail hint at a creative blending of traits to symbolize strength and mystery. It's possible that ancient storytellers took these familiar animals and elevated them into something extraordinary, a creature that embodies the best qualities of the natural world. The Qilin's benevolent nature raises an interesting question. Could other gentle creatures from mythology have been inspired by real animals? Many cultures have stories of peaceful, auspicious beings that bring good luck or protect the innocent. Perhaps these tales, like the Qilin's, were born from a deep admiration for the animals that share our world, transformed into something magical by the imagination of storytellers. Throughout history, mythological creatures have served as more than just fantastical beings. They've been mirrors reflecting humanity's deepest fascinations with the natural world. These creatures, often born from the mysteries of the unknown, became powerful symbols in their own right. For some cultures, they embodied raw strength and dominance, like the dragon, a creature revered in Eastern traditions as a symbol of wisdom and prosperity, yet feared in the West as a harbinger of chaos. Others, like the Basilisk, represented primal fears, striking terror into the hearts of storytellers and listeners alike. And then there are beings like the Phoenix, which ignited wonder and hope, rising from its ashes as a testament to renewal and resilience. What's fascinating is how these creatures transcended their mythological origins to become enduring fixtures in human culture. They weren't just tales told around campfires, they were tools for understanding the world. In ancient times, they helped explain natural phenomena from the changing of seasons to the unpredictability of storms. The Kraken, for instance, might have been a way for sailors to grapple with the dangers of the deep sea, while the Griffin symbolized the untamed wilderness. These creatures gave shape to the unknown, offering a sense of control, or at least comprehension, in a world full of mysteries. Even today, their legacy lives on, woven into the fabric of modern storytelling and media. From the dragons of Game of Thrones to the shape-shifting creatures of folklore reimagined in blockbuster films, these mythological beings continue to captivate us. They've become vessels for exploring complex themes: power, identity, and the human condition. In video games, literature, and even advertising, they remain as relevant as ever, proving that our fascination with these creatures is far from fading. As we reflect on their cultural significance, it's clear that mythological creatures are more than just imaginative creations. They're a testament to humanity's enduring curiosity and creativity, a bridge between the natural world and the stories we tell about it. And as we approach the conclusion of our journey, let's consider how these creatures, inspired by real animals and shaped by human imagination, continue to shape us in return. From the thunderous roar of the legendary manticore to the serpentine grace of the Chinese dragon, we've journeyed through 30 mythological creatures and their fascinating ties to real-world animals. These legends, born from the depths of human imagination, often find their roots in the natural world, whether it's the lion-like features of the manticore or the crocodilian inspiration behind the fearsome Ammit of Egyptian lore. Each story reflects humanity's endless creativity, weaving the extraordinary from the ordinary, transforming the familiar into the fantastical. But what's perhaps most striking is how these myths reveal our deep connection to the world around us. Ancient cultures observed the animals they encountered: birds, reptiles, mammals, and saw not just creatures but symbols of power, mystery, and wonder. These myths became a way to explain the unexplainable, to honor the awe-inspiring, and to pass down lessons from one generation to the next. As we wrap up this exploration, it's worth asking, what other real animals might have inspired the myths we haven't yet uncovered? Could there be untold stories waiting to be discovered, hidden in the behaviors or appearances of creatures we've yet to fully understand? The world is vast, and nature's mysteries are endless, so who knows what ancient legends might still be waiting to surface? If you've enjoyed this journey into the crossroads of mythology and nature, share your thoughts in the comments below. Which creature's real-world inspiration surprised you the most? And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of mythology. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and let the stories of the past inspire your curiosity about the world around us.